Hey guys, what's going on? I'm going to do a video on NVDA, which was this past week's Bullseye trades pick. If you're new to the channel, make sure you check out this link in the description, which is to the Jeff Bishop Bullseye trades review. I've kept a record of this service for over a year and a half now, and each week I update with the particular contracts, a few notes, and then of course a video like the one I'm doing right now on what happened during the trade, my thoughts and opinions on basically the recommendation for that week. So this should be pretty interesting, although it was a boring week. I think there's a lot of things to say. So let's get started. This was the email that came out. Every Monday morning you get an email from Jeff Bishop when you're part of the Bullseye Trades service. It's only $99 a year, which is awesome. And the picks come out weekly. So this week's was NVDA. It was on April 10th, so this past Monday. And it was a pretty boring week overall in terms of like how the trade did. I'll show you how I did, I'll show you how other people did, and let's take a look at what happened. So here's the email. Just want to zoom in here a little bit. So usual advertising comes first, blah 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 blah, being a big fan. Alright, so my gut instinct is to go after the leader of the sector on a bet. They'll be the next domino to fall. So he was betting against NVDA this week. This last week. So he agreed it was a gutsy call, kind of out there. A lot of people said the same thing in my communities. I noticed people were like, I don't know if I agree with this. This isn't good. It's a strong stock. I don't know. And he says, I would normally avoid betting against a market leader. Well, that's always a good thing, right? You don't really want to be betting against a market leader in an uptrending market. I just think the setup is so prime right now that it is, if I'm right about the market pulling back this week. If I'm wrong in the market direction, then I'm sure this trade won't work out. Interesting. So I didn't go to the 11 o'clock meeting, which 11 o'clock Eastern, he holds a webinar type thing. He talks about this stuff. I keep missing those. I should try and get to them more often. They're very helpful. He goes through the technicals and more in-depth analysis. So if you're new to trading, that can be really helpful, especially. And so here's his brief overview in the email. My plan for attacking NVDA is to look to buy some of the options listed below sometime this morning. I want to make sure I leave room to add if NVDA rallies and therefore the puts go lower in price, and then I can average down but not past my stop limit, blah blah blah. And so which is just under the recent high. Okay. So I actually took this trade. I'll show you the charts in a sec. Let's just see what he had to say. So here are the trade details. He took the April 28th 260 puts. He recommended it near $7, and that was based on the price that it was likely to open at on the Monday morning. And so he basically has a stop of 277, and this is something that came up again this week. People always think that if the stock goes to 277, that's an immediate stop out, but really this is a swing trading service, so it's daily candles that you're going on. So if you're looking for a close above 277, then if it just touches it and then backs off, you're still technically good from a technical analysis point of view. So bear that in mind in this upcoming analysis. Target 1 is 255, so he was hoping it would short it down to 255. Target 2 was 242, which was pretty ambitious if you look at the chart in a minute. So let's see what other people were saying about this trade before I get into what I did and my analysis on it as well. So let's see, click here, you can get the commentary, which can be pretty useful sometimes. Let's have a look. And Jeff often answers these things, so just see, Jeff, are you holding into next week or selling on a market dip? Yep, I'm holding my full position into next week. So Jeff took a position in this, he's holding it. Thought I would be happy to sell half later today if the market keeps dumping. I'll send out an app alert. I actually didn't pay much attention to what he did this week, so this is new to me. So he did have a position. Mike Studer sold yesterday for almost 100% profit, looking for a possible re-entry today. PPI looks surprising. So there was a lot of things like crazy catalysts this last week that influenced this thing, well, the whole market. But you can see some people made money. Just curious what your entry was. Great job. It pains me to bet against such great stocks like NVDA. So yeah, so people are playing this for profits, and there was definitely profit potential. I made some money on it, and it wasn't the best pick ever. It was kind of meh, as you'll see in a sec. Let's see. But there were people getting in the fours, and this thing did spike quite a bit. So yeah, kind of mixed, but most people were reporting that they made money on this trade. So let's have a look and see see what happens. So these are the contracts. I plotted them in Thinkorswim for you here. So on the left, this is the day that the alert came out. So the alert came out here. So this is the Monday, the Tuesday, the Wednesday, the Thursday, and then the Friday. And currently it's this weekend that you can't see off the screen here. So you can see that he said, buy puts around $7. So these are the put contracts. So it's not the underlying. Make sure that's really clear. These are the 260 puts. I think it was 260. Yeah, 260 puts, so they're currently $7. It can be really hard to see this on YouTube with the screens, but this is a $7 here. And so what I was happy about is, for the whole of 2022, I was able to hold off on the Mondays and buy on the Tuesdays and then make some money in the rest of the week. And it's been hard recently, but I tried it again on NVDA on this one and waited off until I could get in at about the end of the day here, so 4:45-ish down here. So fantastic bargain, really. I'm really happy with that. That corresponded to close to the stop was down here somewhere, so this came really close to stopping out. But buying close to the stop seemed to work in 2022, and it worked again on this one. So I bought very close to the stop and held this a little bit. And I have a Discord that if you guys want, I'll leave a link in the description below to that blog post with the review, but also if you want to email me, I'll put my email there as well. And you can email me, and if you're a member of Bullseye Trades, just send me a copy of your receipt and I'll invite you to my private Discord, which we basically discuss Bullseye Trades. And there's hundreds of members in there, so it's definitely worth checking out. It's right here. Just hide the member list here. So in here we talk about Bullseye Trades a lot. And so this provides kind of a good timestamps for me as well when I'm doing things. So in these videos I can kind of remind myself of what happened if I wait till the weekend to do it like now. So let's have a look. You can see some of my commentary here. Probably wait to take profit before CPI tanks things temporarily, blah blah blah. So the good thing is I recorded what I did. So my trade on this was from 4:45 to 6.1. And that was an overnight hold on these puts. So 4:45 and then 6.1 was pretty early on Wednesday. So held for about a day and then sold. So got this kind of move up here. But if you aren't used to these, you'd be kind of annoyed, right? If you bought at the 7 and then you watched it go all the way down to 4 and then all the way back up to 7 and then all the way back down to 5 by the close on Friday, you'd say this kind of went sideways. But with a bit of practice, I think you can time these moves and get some significant gains. So I was pretty happy with that. I thought that was a decent trade. It's about 50%. So I was pretty excited about that. And you can see I was commentating about it as I did it as well. I did actually think that we were getting lower on the underlying than we actually were though, so I was a bit annoyed about that. I thought the first price target was 265, but it wasn't. It was 255, and once we got towards 265 I took these profits, so it was a little bit annoying, but paid off in the end. So I know if you guys are holding into next week as well, because these are generally, they can be 1 week trades, but often they'll be held over multiple weeks as well. I tend not to do that. I'm usually in and out within a couple of days, absolute max. So that kind of wraps it up. I've added it to the list here and continuing keeping records here. Not really sure how to put this one because Jeff hasn't really sold it. There isn't a general consensus about how this one went, so I said it was a tricky one. I made money, but it was mostly flat, really. Saying that, flat, there was massive undulations in the underlying and in the options as well. So overall, pretty volatile trade. If we look at the underlying, actually, it might be pretty interesting. Let's have a look. So this is it. So you can see there was a decent drop in the underlying, so he wasn't wrong. The problem is if you bought too soon on the puts, then you didn't really get much downside, and there's certainly some significant upside. Here's the stop, so this is a good point for people that are already part of Bullseye. I've seen it do this quite a bit. So 277 was the stop loss on the underlying, and you can see it briefly spiked over it at the open on Tuesday. I think that annoyed some people. I think they thought that was a stop out, but really it's not. It's a close above that would be a stop out. So for me, that was fine. I just kind of held it and took my profits. So overall, general downward trend, but so much so much noise on the downward signal just really makes it hard. So not the best trade, not the worst. I would say it was a winner. If you were fairly patient, it was most likely a winner for you. Not chasing it down here and buying puts more towards the end of the day, which is what I've been doing for a year now, pretty successfully. So anyway, hopefully that's helpful, and I will talk to you guys soon.